My name is Austin Stanfield with Creative Recreational Systems, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 different types of safety surfacing for underneath commercial playground equipment. The first one is engineered playground wood fiber. The second one is rubber mulch. The third one is playground turf. The fourth one is poured-in-place rubber. And the fifth one is rubber tiles. Okay, so number one is engineered playground wood fiber, and this comes in normally 2 different forms, either wood chips or strips of wood fiber, and this is normally cedar, virgin cedar, designed specifically for commercial playground equipment, and it is typically antimicrobial, antifungal, can protect up to a 12-foot fall height, and is installed between 9 to 12 inches. Also, you can add additional features to the system, including base rock, geotechnic fabric to separate the base rock and the wood fiber, provide some additional drainage. There's other types of drainage that you can add to the system depending on the saturation of your area, the rainfall, the flow rate that you need, the size of the area. So do take that in consideration and make sure that you have proper drainage depending on your situation. This is a low-cost solution that is good to initially get the play structure up and running. It is compliant. It is normally also ADA compliant, which is important because it's a growing, inclusive movement that is important to make sure that you are, if not required to do, you make an effort to do anyway and be ADA compliant in anticipation of changing regulations and laws in your area. And so just to keep in mind, this is going to be something that is has to be refilled every 1.5 to 2 years, so it's not maintenance free. Okay, so number 2 is going to be rubber mulch, and this comes in 2 different forms, either rubber nuggets or the standard rubber mulch, which is more finer strips. This is a little bit more expensive. And on the price range of different types of surfacing, this is kind of low to medium in the range. So the benefits of this in comparison to wood fiber is you don't have to refill it every other year. This is something that's going to last a bit longer. You will have to refill it every so often, every 5 to 7 years, just depends on the amount of traffic that you have and what the children will do with it. It does tend to be something that can move outside of the play area, and so that's something definitely to think about. It'll go up onto the play structure. Kids will carry it around. And this can protect anywhere between a 4 to a 10-foot fall height. Different suppliers have different fall heights, so again, do make sure that you get the test reports and the certificates of insurance from the supplier for that. Additionally, you want to think about the drainage just like wood fiber, so make sure that you're not going to have highly saturated areas created based upon the safety surfacing that you're putting in, and that you're going to have some catch basin where water is going to collect and prevent the fall height from staying at the same that you installed it. Okay, so number 3 is going to be playground turf, and this comes in a variety of different systems, but generally it consists of a shock pad underneath, either recycled foam or something like shredded base rubber, sort of like poured-in-place mixed with polyurethane. And then you have the next layer up is the playground turf. There's many different types of turf with different thatches, different color variations, and then you can opt to have a infill that replicates natural soil. This can be an acrylic coated silicone like Durafil, or you can have something like crumb rubber, which is not as recommended as a safer product like Durafil. So just keep in mind that you want to go with the safest solution that's available for your budget. Infill is also optional. It does actually help with the longevity of the system. So make sure that whatever you're doing, you have the safety documents to support whatever you're trying to achieve in the safest way possible. And so there's different fall height protections that are covered with playground turf, depends on the thickness of the shock pad and the testing reports. And so just like with everything else, make sure you get the testing reports and the certificate of insurance for the product from the supplier. So number 4 is going to be port in place rubber, and this is on the higher scale of costs. This is going to be something that's going to last longer than the other options. And what this consists of is either vulcanized rubber or recycled shredded rubber, and that's going to be between 1 inch and up to 4 inches. Some distributors and some installers will install it at different ranges. Also, do make sure that you get the test reports and their certificates of insurance for that product, so you have that coverage and you have that safety testing for whatever fall height that you have required for that play structure. And so the top layer is usually virgin rubber. It's either TPV or EPDM mixed with polyurethane. There's 2 different types of polyurethane, aliphatic or aromatic. Aliphatic is something that's a little bit more expensive depending on the petroleum market, because it is a byproduct of that. And it is non-yellowing, something that's better for lighter colors. Then you have aromatic that is semi-yellowing and more appropriate for darker colors. So you can also work in different designs into port in place. It is something that you can get to last much longer than this typical 5 to 10 year warranty. And to do that, it's going to require regular maintenance, normally every 1 to 3 years, and this includes a roll coat of one of the types of binders that's used in the manufacturing process in the field, aromatic, aliphatic, and that can range in cost, but it does tend to add up over time. Okay, so number 5 is going to be playground tiles. These are compressed rubber tiles that are made in a factory, made in a controlled environment, unlike port in place that is made in the field. These can range anywhere between 1 inch up to 4.5 inches, depending on the manufacturer. There's several factories in the world that make this product, and the quality ranges anywhere between something that can last as a 5-year warranty and up to a 15-year warranty. The composition of the different products can also be different. Some manufacturers have one press mold, whereas other manufacturers have a base layer that is recycled rubber and then a top layer that is either scathed or it's poured on top and pressed into the mold. And this is with that same EPDM or TPV virgin rubber like port in place. Although this again is made in a factory, it's made in a controlled environment. So the testing is specific to a 2 foot by 2 foot square, and it can be more consistent as opposed to something like port in place that is manufactured in the field and can be subjective to the environment and other issues where you're actually creating something in the place that it's going to be installed, and the quality can vary. So with playground tiles, this is something that is on the highest end of cost. However, it is one of the lowest cost maintenance items over time. Definitely want to think about the cost of this initially, because it's normally going to be more than the price of the play structure itself. So it's going to be an initial investment, but normally over a 15 to 20 year period of time, it will pay for itself in low maintenance costs. There is some shifting that you'll have to do periodically, cleaning, so it's not completely maintenance free, but it is something that is going to be great if you don't have a long-term maintenance plan, you don't have a long-term maintenance budget, and you want something that's going to last without a lot of extra maintenance funding and work. So that's the 5 types of different safety surfacing for commercial playground equipment. Hopefully that helps with your decision-making process. The price of these ranges anywhere between $3 per square foot up to $22 per square foot. And those are conservative numbers based upon also different square footages, different parts of the country. I don't want to provide exact pricing for the different types of surfacing because it can vary over time, also depending on your location, square footage, environment, conditions, whether or not your project is prevailing wage or standard wage, private project. And so those are all the different factors that come into consideration when pricing is generated. And so if you do need pricing, definitely request that from, your local distributor or someone that is going to help